Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Many of us have considered using an interior designer. Many of us haven't used one. We don't even know how that works, what the process is. We're going to talk about that today with somebody who is an award-winning interior designer, and she's the owner and lead designer at Rooms by Sandy, Decorating Den Interiors. Sandy Schuster joins us once again on the program. Welcome back.
Thanks, Steve. It's good to be here. It's good to see you on video.
Yeah. We've never done the video thing. Why didn't we do this from the beginning? I don't know. It's so much more fun.
Yeah.
Your background. I'm just going to, some of them always look so real that I can't tell. Is that really your background?
That's really my background.
It's
I love these prints. They're on wood and they're very colorful. They match my blue chair.
Yeah. And that's why I'm bringing it up. It's simple, but it looks so rich and well put together, even with the curtains and the light coming through the window, that it almost looks too good to be true, but it's real. Wow.
Find it.
So the whole process, when somebody works with you, they reach out, go to your website, connect with you. Take us through the process. I've never worked with an interior designer. I'm not even sure.
Well, it's a big process. And I think the initial process is really understanding what the client is looking for, but then really just developing some credibility and trust with them. As you know, I go through their home, I ask them tons of questions to really understand how they use the space. And that's the first part. It's just developing their trust and developing credibility with them. And then if they decide to work with me, you know, the next biggest thing is, okay, what is the budget? What would you like to spend? What were you thinking? Because I want to provide my clients with things that are within their budget, not way out of it. I don't want to show them something that they love it and they can't afford it. Because I have access to a lot of different suppliers that I can find things in the good, better, best pricing category. And then we go from there. You know, there's several ways that I work, but the best way that I work is with people that really want to refurnish a home, redo their decor. And then there's a lot of steps in the process. I don't know if you want to know all the details, like signing a retainer and all that stuff, but the biggest step is developing that credibility and trust with the client.
Sure. It almost sounds like you're going on a fact-finding mission with somebody to learn what the purpose of the room is, or the space, whatever it might be, and then what their likes and dislikes are. There's a lot that goes into it.
Absolutely. It's their home. It's their space. It's not my space. I mean, they might not like my artwork that I like, but this is what I like. But what do they like and how do they use the space? Because they're the ones that are going to live with it.
So to illustrate the process, I know that you have some things for us to take a look at. Let's do that.
Sure. So I'm specifically sharing this client because she was so collaborative. We became best buddies. In fact, that's what I love is when a client, they feel just really comfortable with me sharing, being honest. And so I picked her as somebody to talk about. Okay. So this is actually her before. So she was retired. She just retired a year ago. She said, Sandy, I loved my home until I spent so much time in it. And this was, you walk in, it's a really cool townhome. And she says, I'm tired of the beige. But then also she said, I love to entertain. I love to read books. I need storage. And it's just not working for me. And her lighting was outdated. She wanted to entertain 6 people in her dining area. And she had a lot of challenges with a lot of stuff. And this is where her collaboration came in. Let me just move down to the next page.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
So yeah, the collaboration where she was very collaborative is she said, Sandy, what do I need to get rid of? And I said, and so I helped her sort through that. She eventually came to a lot of that, but that really helped. I mean, I just can't go into somebody's home and design around it and make everything fit. And so that didn't work. But she did that. In fact, she had 1,200 books, and I think now she narrowed it down to 200. I mean, she really went to town and did the work, which was really great. So after, we talked about what she wanted, asked her tons of questions, I came back to her with a design plan. And I showed her this. I said, this was one of 3 different options, but this is the one she liked. I picked a really streamlined table. I could put 6 chairs around it. I found a big cabinet where we could put in a lot of her barware and all her stuff she had. We redid the flooring, redid the paint. And voila, this was the after. So again, a lot of collaboration and picking out the paint. She had the beige. She didn't want any beige anymore. We picked out this color network gray, and it really now showed the architect of the dining room. Picked out little modern lighting, even though we have a real traditional cabinet there to fit all of her barware and her liqueurs in. She can now seat 6 people, and it's not cluttered, and it just feels good. And
Can we go
this
back to
is
that?
her.
I
Yeah.
Before we progress, I want to go back to the one before this. Was this what you proposed? This is what it looks like with a hypothetical drawing, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. So I
Wow.
measured out her floor plan and I put the things in the scene so she could get a visual. It's not perfect, but it's close. I mean, my roof line, I couldn't get that in the drawing, but put her windows where the windows were and the table and everything.
It looks so realistic.
Cool.
Amazing. Amazing. If you
Yeah.
told me, yeah, this is what it came out to look like, I'd be like, oh, okay. I think that was real. We're talking about the artificial backgrounds on Zoom before.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
believe this is what her home looks like. Let's go to the next one. What it really,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it's
That's what
quite
it looks like.
amazing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So she could visualize it before she bought it and agreed on it. And I gave her, I think, 2 other tables and different chair options, but she picked this one. And then you can see all the storage she has now. I mean, this is a great place to sit down and have a martini and with some snacks. And she just really loves her new space for her dining room. And the modern window, but a traditional cabinet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And then go ahead.
I want to go to the clutter that she had, the items that she became attached to, didn't want to get rid of. Do you feel that most of us, if not all of us, are hanging on to those items because of an emotional attachment?
Definitely. She's a big book reader. She loved all of her books, but she's not going to go back and read 1,200 books. Well, she might, I don't know, but she actually found places to put things in storage, and she just got rid of a lot of stuff that didn't make her feel good. It was so cluttered. She didn't feel peaceful in her home. Now that she's retired, she spends more time in her home, and she says, Sandy, I want to spend my time on my home, on my money on my home instead of traveling for a couple of years because I want to feel good in my space.
Sure.
So yeah, there's emotional attachment, but sometimes you just gotta let that go.
And this looks so inviting, comfortable, light, airy. It's contemporary, but not at all over the top. Functional. It's all there. Amazing.
Right,
Hmm.
right.
Any other
So
picks?
then, yeah, the other part of her home and her living room is part of it. This is her living room that's on the other side of the dining room. Definitely 70s, dark wood, old lighting or outdated lighting. She said, Sandy, I'm tired of the beige and the brown. And then she wasn't utilizing all the space behind her TV for storage. It's just wasted space.
Hmm.
And this is looking down on it around her kind of fireplace area. So again, I put together a drawing for her. Again, several drawings. This shows her dining room with the living room area in it. And I put in the fabrics, several different fabrics. This is one that she actually chose. And this shows another rendering of the space where I put in a big entertainment center so she could store all of her stuff and really utilize the space. And this was the after.
Wow.
So again, now she's utilizing more of her space. We got rid of the beige. We got some light colors. These are all custom upholstery. I know we've talked a lot about that in my podcasts. It's all custom, so I was able to pick out the arm style, the chair style, added in the pillows to coordinate with like the ottoman. We painted her staircase, which she's in a condo association. So I looked at other condos that had sold, and a lot of them were doing white walls with maybe a gray staircase. And we flipped it because we just wanted the white to pop against the color, show off architecture, changed up the tile on the fireplace. Here's just another picture of it. Again, she's now utilizing her space, and she can seat at least 6 to 8 people in here. I was hesitant to put a sectional in here, but she wanted it cozy, and so it just made a lot of sense in the space. Updated the fan, the lighting in the up the staircase. Remember that old 70s dated lighting?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a more close-up picture of it, but again, a modern vibe, but we've mixed it with more of a traditional look here, which works. And then here's just some more detail on the custom furniture. We picked out the leg style, the color of the wood on the leg. Again, the fabric. And it's comfortable, it's durable, and she's just really happy. She's really happy in her space.
So looking here, on the fabric on what you just showed us, you can't see it very clear, but there's hints of teal in there, and you're picking it up with the whatever's thrown on the chair. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, it's kind of shades of blues in the fabric with a little hint towards green, so a blue green.
Sure.
That blanket actually helps kind of show that off a little bit. But we changed it from brown and beige to blues and teals and and white and bright white.
So that chair right there is completely custom.
Yes, we picked the cushion, the style of the arms, and the style of the legs, the color of the trim, the wood. Like these are a turned leg that's more traditional, which is fun.
Mm.
But that's what she wanted, and I think it turned out really great.
I'm amazed at how custom that is. Like right down to, am I hearing this right, Sandy? Where, okay, here are your choices on the arms. Here's your choice on the cushion. Obviously the fabric. Here's the choices on the legs. What do you think? Or here's my suggestion, but what do you think?
Right. Right. We could have even done the welting that you see. We could have done that in a different color, but we just used the same fabric. But yeah, it makes it really fun, and it's unique, and it's hers. There's nobody else that has that chair.
Well, it's so custom tailored to what she's looking to achieve. How can you go wrong where everything is exactly the way you picked, meaning, your client? The wall unit there, was that all custom built?
No, that's one of my suppliers. It actually comes in, it was 4 sets of piers that my installer put together. And then in the middle, we took out the shelving to put the TV in there. But the nice thing about this supplier is they have all different sizes, and you can custom put them together to find the right size. I wanted to use every inch of that space that I could. So this supplier was just perfect for it. I mean, I measured that space probably 10 times before finalizing my purchase because I wanted to make sure it fit perfectly like a glove.
There is some carpentry work done. Looks like they're around the fireplace, some stonework. Am I seeing that right?
We replaced the tile, and let's see if you can see a picture. See the tile here, the old, and then we just painted the mantle.
Wow, what a difference!
Yeah, so it just really worked.
Wow, you would think it was something totally different, and that
right.
that tone of wood is circa 1988. No doubt about it.
Right.
Hmm. Wow. It looks like a whole new fireplace insert.
Yeah, it's all we did is changed up the tile and painted the mantle. And of course the paint, we also, she had popcorn ceiling and my painter actually sprayed it a bright white. So it's no longer dull. And instead of spending the money on scraping all of that off, you can't tell now. They just sprayed it a really bright white color.
Wow. So you have some texture, but it pops.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just one more of this. This was her office. Again, she had all these books, and she said, "Sandy, I hate my office. I can't stand it. I'm in the corner. I have all this stuff, and so I put together another illustration for her. I picked out several different desk options, but she ended up picking this.
Hmm.
And I did the L-shaped desk so it's not facing the window, it's more looking outside. And we actually took these doors off because she felt like they were it was too much. But we actually took these French doors off and just opened it up.
Hmm.
Again, we did new paint in here, an area rug. And it was a small office, so it's hard to get good pictures of the office, but um, totally changed it up with this lighter, beautiful wood. And she says her office is now her favorite room in the house because she spends a lot of time in here. Um,
Wow.
and again, it just really transformed it. She has placed, this is the detail on, this is another one of my suppliers. This is not custom. They actually do make custom desks. This is one of the ones that they sell and they're really high quality and a really nice product. Very heavy to bring up the stairs, but I mean, that's what you pay for when you're hiring an interior designer like me. I pay for that installation for them to install it, make sure it works,
Mm.
and deliver it exactly where it needs to be.
That is so inviting, that office, and geniusly positioned, having the light come from behind. That's what you
Right,
want. You get
right. I mean, this one was just, I mean, dreary.
no.
Even though we used a darker paint color, it's brighter because it pops against the brighter white ceiling. I actually also did all of her window treatments. So these are a Hunter Douglas silhouette window treatment. So you
Mm.
can actually close them so they totally block out all the light. And then they're open with
Fantastic.
yeah.
And previously she had it so she was facing the wall where your right eye, just to the corner of your eye, even if you're looking at a screen, you're seeing light come at you, and that's got to be get so distracting.
Right,
Whereby now it's
right.
coming from behind. It's now helping you.
Right. You could actually also block it out too, because there's nice
Sure.
little, yeah.
With this entire project, what was your biggest challenge?
Um,
Getting rid of her junk.
Actually, but she did that. I mean, I thought it was going to be a big challenge.
Hmm.
I met with her, I think in March, and I thought, oh, I probably won't be ordering furniture until the fall. And I went back to visit her in June and she had already downsized everything. I thought I need to order the furniture and
Wow.
we did the installation in October, or maybe it was September. But my biggest challenge, measuring for that entertainment center, the first one I proposed was just a little bit off and it wouldn't have fit because was a lip on the stairs. You couldn't just measure the floor. You had to measure where the staircase came out and the fireplace came out. That was really challenging. And then it was a small space. So being able to give her all that seating, but make it really functional and you can move around in it. I actually taped out her space with some blue tape once we picked out the furniture to show her where it would go. And that's what helped solidify the deal for her.
Hmm. Now this took some time over a period of months. Doesn't have to be that way, right?
No, I mean, it does take time to get custom furniture. It takes up to 8 weeks to get it made and then shipped.
Okay.
Another could be 4 weeks. Actually, I just had a sectional that took only 6 weeks. Um, so it could be about a 3-month process, but I also can do installations in 2 months if we buy everything that's in stock.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, but then, yeah, she did new flooring, new paint. So that was a big process in and of itself before I could really do the furnishings.
Now, take us on that journey. How does that work? You make the suggestion, we're going to go for gray whitewashed floors, whatever it is. Then are you overseeing the contractor, the materials, the supplies? Do you have to? Can you? How does that work?
Every job is different. In this particular case, I had a contractor that had a flooring guy that he recommended.
Okay.
But I took her to my flooring place and we picked out the flooring. She put carpet in her bedrooms and hardwood floors in her common areas.
Hmm.
And then I had a painter to do the painting, but I helped her pick out 3 different paints. But then where she came in is she needed to paint those swatches on her walls, different areas, and look at them at different times of the day to make sure to see what she liked. And then I helped her pick out the final one. But I narrowed it down to 3 because 3's enough. And if you don't like those 3, then let's do another 3. Maybe it's not warm enough, not cool enough. But and then my painter did the painting for her. So her contract with the painter was separate. The contract with the flooring guy was separate. But then she bought the flooring from me and I gave her a discount because I can buy it at wholesale.
I love your attention to detail, even right down to the paint on the wall and the different times of the day. Many people don't think about that. They just look at the color, see the swatch, hold it up to the wall. Yeah, it looks good. Let's go with that. And then are in for a surprise when the light changes. So
It looks, yeah,
there's no surprises here. This is why you work with an interior designer. Really, it really is.
right.
Hmm.
You don't want to have to redo it. It's expensive enough.
Yeah, but could you imagine if you spent money on couches, furniture, all the changes, and then you put paint on the wall, and then it's sunset, and it's like, oh my gosh, this room is too dark. This is not what I was looking for. I wanted
Right,
it light,
right,
open, airy. Did not expect it. But that's why you're there to lead somebody along the way. Because I would not think of
right,
that, especially since you got all this other stuff going on. If you try to do it on your own, there's a lot going on
right,
here.
right, right.
And having done it before, I don't want to manage the project. I'm over that. Be careful what you ask for. I'll say right now, in between houses, waiting for one to pop up, I will never do this again on my own. I'm not even kidding. It's
Yeah,
the pain and suffering and all of the trying to come up with ideas and you just want it done. It's just we deserve it. We deserve it
right.
to work with somebody like you. How do we do that? How do we connect with you?
You can find me on my website at roomsbysandy.decoratingden.com, or my email is sschuster@decoratingden.com.
And free consult, just somebody has questions, you offer that?
Yeah, send me an email. Let's figure out a time to talk. Let me see if I can help you. If you're not in my area, maybe another decorator with um, Decorating Den Interiors, which I'm a part of a franchise, could help in your area. Or we could do something remotely, but I'd love to take those questions and I'd love to hear people's ideas and see if I can work with them.
Sure. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for sharing your screen and walking us through the journey of this project. Just amazing.
Thank you.
The before and after is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
What was accomplished there, and that's just a one example of many. Appreciate it and look forward next time we get together.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.